Take care, Mick. Good luck, and have a nice day. Ha ha ha, I'm a genius. I crushed WCW. And with that, Mick Foley would not be seen on WWE television for nearly 18 months. And also, speaking of WCW, Ric Flair would show up in his de facto hometown of Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm John Rentham with the Retro Review of WWE Raw for November 19, 2001, the fallout from Survivor Series 2001, and possibly the last retro review that I'll be doing for this year. Let me know in the comments if you want me to continue reviewing this, because boy, besides Vengeance and the Supermarket Brawl, I took a look at the descriptions for some of the episodes, and it really gets dicey, even though it was really fucking dicey during the invasion angle. My fucking goodness, all the piles of money they burned through, all the months and years of creative they burned through, fucking ridiculous. But Vince McMahon just wanted to crush his competition, grab the competition by the throat, and squeeze the life out of your competition. Chris Benoit took upon that same method in June of 2007. So anyway, they are in Charlotte, North Carolina. Pretty loud crowd, as you would expect, in the old Crockett Stronghold. The end was not here for at least WWE. So earlier, Foley was on Vince's private jet and basically wouldn't get fired. This was talked about during his in his documentary, where he basically felt burned out and he wanted to leave. That if he didn't leave, that he might not want to work in the company again because he was burned out. He had his injuries. He wanted to go do his own stuff. And he was retired, and he just wanted to go away for a while, and it worked out all the better. So he wouldn't actually appear on WWE television until around Bad Blood 2003, because they need to spice up Triple H versus Kevin Nash with Mick Foley in a Hell in a Cell match. You know, that feud that didn't ask for a fucking Hell in a Cell match at all. So JR welcomes us, no Heyman. Here is Vince to a pop at first, and we owe one man thanks, and that's Kirk Angel. Wait, I'm sorry, that's just what I'm calling him. We owe Kurt Angle our thanks. Thank him, damn it. Thank him. Ha ha ha. But anyway, he says there will be drastic changes to take place tonight. Gonna be hard to do the Vince voice for all these quotes. First member of the Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club will appear, will be inducted tonight. Ha ha ha. But, yeah, he's deciding to open up the Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club. Actually, no, now that I think about it, I'm going to pivot and I'm just going to do the rest of the retro reviews because JR kisses his ass, in his hometown, because Undertaker turned heel for no damn reason. So, anyway, when Austin gets here, I will execute my plans and I will fire him and I will make a new WWE champion with blackjack and hookers. But there's an empty chair next to JR. Here's Heyman, and he's all jubilant, and Walt Disney stares up from hell wondering what the fuck. So, I got away with it, Heyman's yelling. I can't do Heyman's voice. I got away with it. And then Heyman gets brought up into the ring, and he says, and it's like, I'm going to exercise my First Amendment rights because I'm a First Amendment advocate. You're fired. And he gets taken away. And Jerry the King Lawler, fresh off of his commentary stint for World Wrestling All-Stars in Sydney, Australia, just about a month prior. Actually, about not even a month prior, because they filmed that, and I did a retro review of that on October 26, 2001. He had left the company right after, I believe it was No Way Out 2001, because his wife had been fired at the time. His wife that apparently got a little bit too old for him during the few months that he was away from the company. Also want to mention that during the Survivor Series 2001 show, he mentioned about dating Stacy Keibler, but he couldn't because of the age difference. He wishes she was younger. My fucking goodness. But yeah, Jerry Lawler's back on commentary, and we get puppies galore. My fucking goodness. It was kind of funny, though, that JR did take shots at Heyman when Heyman tried to get him, and JR just, hitting him as good as JR could, because JR has self-admit he's not an athlete. And then Lawler gets brought back, and they were all happy and everything while Heyman got taken off, and he was going to be part of creative a little bit later. He was off TV, then Paul Heyman was Paul Heyman's advocate. Paul Heymanception. No, he's Brock Lesnar's advocate, manager, whatever, and then after that rant's course, he would be part of Ohio Valley, he would do managing stuff, then he would go be part of creative for Ohio Valley Wrestling, and then it would go into the shitter. Not quite as much as it has now, if you know what I mean. So anyway, we get Lita with a limping Matt after the steel cage match against Trish for the Women's Championship. So Lita's Titantron was frozen during Trish's entrance. I don't know why that made me laugh. So They would have better matches in the future, I know that, because they would both get better. Well, Lita was about as good as she was going to get here. I mean, especially after her broken neck a couple of years later. Trish would obviously get better. Baseball slide, and Lita and Matt collide. Lita gets put back in, and Trish hits the backslide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good stuff there. So, obviously, this leads to Matt and Lita splitting. Vince talks to Dudley, Stacy, Test, Christian, and RVD because, by default, I guess Stacy, because she's the manager of the Tag Team Champions, gets to stay around. It's going to be RVD versus the Dudleys in a handicap tables match. So, he tells Christian to get out of his sight, because Christian's happy to be working for him. He's like, get out of my sight. RVD and the Dudleys had a tables match, which, yeah, he actually said this line. I thought he said on Survivor Series. No, he said, I've reviewed so much stuff. He actually said that about Stacy here. If only she was a bit younger. Good job there, Lawler. Good job, you fucking goddamn creep. You fucking creep. You deserve every bit of scorn you fucking get, you piece of shit. So, the tables didn't break. The tables wouldn't cooperate. I am the table. 3D through a table the second time, and that was the victory. So, Kurt arrives. He's doing great. You're doing amazing, sweetie. No, he wants to find The Rock. Linda's on WWF New York, or in WWF New York, on WWE TV, WWF TV. I know, I'm doing a lot of WWF, WWE. Want to remind again, this shirt, my sister painted this logo. I really appreciate it. My most treasured shirt. So, I wonder which of Linda's eyes she was using to keep on the fans, because she was keeping one eye on the camera and one eye on the fans. So The Rock mocks Kurt Angle because Kurt wanted thanks for what he did, being the mole in the alliance. It was, well, hey, you did all this stuff. You laid me out with a chair. You beat me up with a chair. Beat us up with a chair. Why don't you try to do that tonight? You don't fool The Rock. You're no hero. You're an asshole. You're no savior. Anyway, Shane and Stephanie arrive, driving themselves. And then Vince calls him out. And you shouldn't chant slut at my daughter, Stephanie, Vince says. And of course they naturally do. Shane says, congratulations. You won, I lost, and I lost to the better man. He leaves. And Shane would not be on TV for, God, if I'm right, I think it would be the Kane feud. So it'd be nearly 2 years. Like, he would not be on TV. Stephanie then grovels a whole lot more. It was Shane's fault. I'm sorry. Don't do this. She tries to beg for her job, and she holds onto her dad's leg while security takes her away and everything. And say goodbye to Daddy's little girl. Ha ha ha. Anyway, Vince then says to Jericho, I don't like guys with big egos, but I like them with massive egos. He likes huge, throbbing, massive egos. So, you face Kane tonight because of what you did at Survivor Series, almost costing a team. Rock versus Angle world title match. Crowd is up for it. Back superplex. Back body drop. No, back superplex by Rock. Angle slam. Roll up for 3. I mean, the match had more moves, but that's basically the summary of it. Angle attacks Rock. And then the Rock bottom. Jericho attacks Rock. 2-on-1 attack. And the wall's on Rock. Hey, at least we didn't get the sharpshooter finish. That fucking sharpshooter. Here's Vince. Regal shows up, and he thinks, you want me to fix the light, carry your bags, this kind of stuff. Nope, I meant literally kiss my ass. And Regal's confused and offended and doesn't want to do it. You really want me to kiss your bottom? Sorry to any UK fan. Really want me to kiss your bottom? I'm just going to say that. JR and King are laughing about this. It's a nice looking ass, isn't it? I can even make my ass do tricks. Ha ha ha. And he actually did make his ass do tricks, and we are all scarred for it. And then Regal kisses his ass and, puts chapstick on and everything, and it is what it is. What if he passes gas, JR said. Taz is then mocking Regal, calls him a kiss ass. He gets laid out, and we get a short match, very short match later. Kane versus Jericho. So Jericho ends up playing dirty in this match and ends up bringing a chair in, and when Kane tries to go for the top rope clothesline, chair. And there we go. Eventually gets the walls on Kane, sort of, and that's about it. Heel Jericho is complete, even though he kind of was a heel for the last month. It's pretty obvious. So here's Angle. He confronts Edge backstage about the pay-per-view. Edge says, I won 2 titles. That's 2 more titles than you have. I secured my spot regardless. I do know you, and I know that you only did it for yourself. And then they would lead to a hair versus hair match after Edge won that fake Japanese shampoo commercial endorsement from Booker T at Mania 18. They are fighting over shampoo. That was a Judgment Day 02, by the way, in case you're wondering when that hair versus hair match was. So, Regal versus Taz. Taz tries for stuff while the smoke is just all over the arena. No ventilation at all. And Regal stretches him, and Taz taps because Taz was about done. Taz and Spike would have a very short run with the tag titles, and then he would retire right after No Way Out 2002. It's a shame he didn't actually get to be at Mania 18, but maybe they realized, hey, let's limit the amount of matches, and also Taz, just retire. Because Taz needed to do that. He had the neck issues from the botched pile driver in 1995, and even though he was doing good stuff, he had, the clock was ticking on that. And he became a commentator and had a second part to his career. Full-time commentator, that is. Vince tells Kurt that he's going to get his appreciation. How would you like to be the WWF champion? So they're in the ring. Thank you, Kurt. Thank him, damn it. Ha ha. But anyway, they need Kurt as champion. He goes to give it to him, and then as the sole owner, and then Ric Flair shows up because Charlotte, North Carolina, and all that. I bet on a winner last night. Do you know when Shane and Stephanie sold their stock at that consortium, that the consortium, was me. And now you and I were partners. Austin shows up, attacks Angle, attacks Vince. Flair and Austin stare down. He hands him the title. Austin celebrates with beers. And Austin is back from being that heel and being, part of that heel turn that nobody fucking asked for, that didn't fucking work at all. And now we are on to bigger and better things for the rest of 2001. I'll just say at the end, do you guys want me to review the rest of 2001 or just stop here? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rethlin. I'll see you soon.